Hey bros, today we're back on the 5th generation 4RUNNER straight axle project. We gotta build some jack stand extensions so we can get it to ride height. Stay tuned. Alright guys, to get the girl to ride height, we gotta go ahead and get some 3/16 4x8 sheets of steel. We have to get 2 of them so we can cut out 8 pieces for the front, 8 pieces for the rear, 16 together, so we can make these jack stand extensions, these pedestals. So we need to raise it up 16 more inches to get it to ride height. So we're gonna go ahead and cruise up to Capitol Industrial in Olympia, pick up that plate, come back, fire up the CNC machine, and go ahead and start assembling these. So let's get started. Cue the music.
Okay, I don't know how much Scott has talked about this already, but apparently there's a surprise waiting for me on the computer. And then I will have to do some maths and figure out exactly what shape I'm going to put it in and how high I'm going to make that shape and all that good stuff. But yeah, let's get this thing on. That was easy. Okay. I don't see the surprise. No. What? Alright, hang on. I don't see it. Right, I forgot that they said it was in the thing. It's in the thing. Oh. Let's see what we got going on. Jack stand EPS. It's probably the one. One of those. Maybe it's that one. I don't know. We'll open them all in there and see what happens. Let's do new. And no. And import. What? EPS. Cool. Let's try that. Import. Let's do JPEG. JPEG. Okay. Whoa, that's big. Okay, hang on. Guys. Whoa. Oh, that's even more annoying. Do you know why that's even more annoying? Because I don't know if they did the math. God damn it. I mean, it looks cool, but the problem is, I need this to be a specific height. The kickout doesn't really matter, and the kickout's what determines that. I was going to match the kickout with the existing jack stands, so it'd be the same. It would be equally as stable as they are, basically. Alright, like I was saying, this looks really cool. It looks freaking rad. The only issue is, in order to get it the proper height now, I'm going to have to scale it, which means I'm going to have to use that angle to figure out what angle the 2 plates are going together at, so I can figure out the height, the vertical height on it, so that I can make that proper for underneath there. I was going to have the angle of it match the jack stands, just for aesthetics. It would actually make the base more stable than the jack stand, based on the angle from the very top of the jack stand down to the feet. So yeah, that looks super rad, but now I got to do a bunch of math to figure out how to make it what I need it. So let's do some math. and look up some equations and geometry and stuff that I haven't looked at in, God, since high school. Alright, well that worked out well, but I didn't get back in time and my computer died. So let's hope I don't have to run back over there again. Oh, it's annoying. Come on. But that looks good. I rather like that. I'll do some trimming on that. I'll connect those bits on the bottom that aren't connected. We'll go from there. Let's clean this up and get our relationships off of this to see if we can make this shape work for us. We might have to change the whole thing as far as angles go. I'm not sure, but we'll see what we got.
Why did you take my light? The darkness will not survive.
Now that Brandon's got that design imported into the computer that I drew over the weekend, we're going to go ahead and measure the 4Runner here to see exactly how high he wants it to go to actually get it at ride height. And then we can move on to start cutting these parts out. Alright, we called Capital Industrial about a couple of sheets of 4x8 3/16 plate, and it's like $240 a sheet, and it's going to take 2 sheets because we need to cut 16 of those pieces to make those jack stands. It's like $400 and some odd dollars, so we're good on spending that money right now on jack stand stuff. I've got a bunch of 2x4s piled up from a previous project during the summer, and we'll screw those together and we'll make them 16 inches high. The height this needs, that this height needs to be, and then that should get us so we can move on to making our pedestals or stands that will hold the axle. They'll go on the ends of it and the lugs will go through it, and then we'll use a lug nut to hold those on. And that doesn't hold your pinion. Your pinion still wants to turn, so we'll support that with the jack until we get the radius arms on there supporting it. Then we can pull the jack out, and it will sit there with just the jack stands and those axle stands, and it'll sit there at right height. It'll look pretty cool, and that'll be set up so we can fab and work on everything without the wheel and tire in the way. So we're going to go ahead and pull out the table saw and start cutting up some wood here and start building these platforms. Now that we got all the 2x4s cut and ready, we're going to go ahead and bring them inside here because it's 5 and it's getting cold. You know, it's mid-October here in Washington. And then we're going to go ahead and start assembling our first one and see how far we can get before the end of the day here.
Darkness will
It's a new day, guys. We got our platforms built yesterday, and then this morning we came in and we got them laid out beneath the truck here. So now what we got to do to get this girl actually raised up to ride height is we got to build some sort of a platform that's the same height as these to put our jack on here. So that way, you know, there's no other way to really get under here. If we had a forklift, yeah, we could do that, but we don't got a forklift. So, and there's no way to use a high lift jack. High lift jacks are dangerous anyways. You know, anybody that's used them will tell you that. So we're going to build this here 16-inch platform that's just as high as these. We'll build it in the same fashion. And then the whole top will be 2x4s, and we'll double stack it so it's extra thick the way these are put together. You know what I'm saying? And then that will give us room so the jack can sit there and roll as it raises the truck up. And then we'll lower the jack stands all the way down with, you know how they're extended. We'll lower those all the way down, slide the extensions underneath them, and then we'll raise it up click by click until it's to ride height. And then we'll just rinse and repeat in the back, and we'll get it to ride height, and then we can finally move on to making our axle stands themselves, but we'll see where we get here. Brandon's got the platform designed so it's like 32 inches long and, you know, a little bit wider than the jack, but pretty much wide enough that it can fit between the jack extensions there, or jack stand extensions. So we can sort of slide it out and then put it in the back to do the same thing. So he's going to go ahead and go over to our scrap wood pile, grab some wood. We're going to start pulling nails and start cutting up wood here and start building this platform. Now that we got the jack platform built, we're going to go ahead and get it under here and start this process slowly and cautiously, and we'll get this girl to ride height now. That wraps up this episode. We got our jack stand extensions built out of wood. We originally intended to make them with a Cougar head in the middle, and I'm say Cougar House Fab and stuff. But 2 sheets of 3/16 to make them out of, because it would take 2 full 4x8 sheets, were like $220 a sheet. And making them out of 2x4s and nails were free, because we just took them from our scrap wood pile from taking apart buildings and other building projects that pertain to that kind of stuff. So we got our jack stand extensions built. We got the 4RUNNER ride height. It's pretty high, but it's no higher than you'd lift an F250 with one of these CNC style lift kits. So this is going to be pretty cool. We're pretty excited about it. It's at maximum compression right now. So we'll raise it up probably 4 inches, and that'll be ride height. But we pretty much have it ready, so we can come in here tomorrow and we can start implementing all of the cardboard and the mathematics into the PC, and then we can get that all drawn up on there and get those files built so we can get those off. We're going to send them off to Motor Built in, I think, South Carolina. I'm not sure, don't quote me, but they're a pretty cool company. Check them out on Instagram. We're going to have them cut out everything for us that's bigger than our 2x2 plasma table here made by Bailey. It's just too small. They're 2 foot by 2 foot space, and we need to make our bridges and our radius arms and our cradle and all that, and it's going to be bigger than our bed. So we're going to have them cut everything out for us and ship it back to us on a pallet, and then Brandon and I will start welding the lift kit together. So pretty good. Awesome, guys. So if you guys like what we do, you like Cougar House Garage, check us out at cougarhousegarage.com. Check us out at Facebook /Cougar House Garage, and we are Cougar House Garage on Instagram. Follow us, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.